Part 8. The AI compute loop. The deals are real. Whether they inflate demand is the debate. A source to look at cloud economics. Every claim links to its source. Nothing here alleges a crime. The striking part is that it is all legal and disclosed. Here's the pattern that is Analyst talking. NVIDIA sells chips to AI companies, then invests in those same AI companies, who use the money to buy more chips. The dollars appear to loop. Whether that loop is healthy financing or a demand illusion is the whole argument. So the boring, important thing first. The deals happened and are on the record. The interpretation that they could be inflating apparent demand is a debate, not a verdict. Let's take the deals one at a time. On 22 September 2025, NVIDIA and OpenAI announced a letter of intent. The headline: NVIDIA intends to invest up to $100 billion in OpenAI progressively as each gigawatt is deployed, tied to deploying at least 10 gigawatts of NVIDIA systems. NVIDIA Investor Relations, CNBC. Read the words carefully, because they're load-bearing. This was conditional, milestone-linked intent, not a binding $100 billion check. And it got smaller. On 2 December 2025, NVIDIA CFO Colette Kress said the partnership still wasn't a definitive agreement. We still haven't completed a definitive agreement, Fortune. By early 2026, the headline number was scaled back. Jensen Huang said the amount would not reach $100 billion. No, nothing like that. With NVIDIA reportedly finalizing a roughly $30 billion equity stake as part of OpenAI's funding round, announced 27 February 2026. Fortune. The exact round mechanics vary by source and are reported, not filed with the SEC. OpenAI. The Wall Street Journal reported the deal as a 5-year cloud agreement valued at roughly $300 billion data center frontier. I want to be precise about that $300 billion 5-gigawatt partnership in its own words. The dollar figure is a WSJ report. Data center frontier itself flags it as reported, not fully confirmed by the parties. So treat $300 billion as journalism, not a disclosed line item. This one is the cleanest example of the loop, and it's in a regulatory filing. $3 billion, dated 9 September 2025, running through 13 April 2032, under which NVIDIA is obligated to purchase CoreWeave's residual unsold cloud capacity. CoreWeave 8K. SEC. Data Center Dynamics. Sit with the shape of that. NVIDIA sells chips to CoreWeave. NVIDIA also holds roughly an 11% stake in CoreWeave. And NVIDIA agrees to be the backstop buyer for whatever cloud capacity CoreWeave can't sell to anyone else. Chip supplier, shareholder, and buyer of last resort. All the same company. This is where the opinions start, and I'm labeling them as opinions. In global finance, Columbia's Gregory Blotnick warned that their interconnected AI investments mean trouble for one could rapidly cascade to others, and Minnesota's Andrew Odlisco said the big danger is if people wake up one morning and say growth is slower than expected. Global finance. Bloomberg framed the worry conditionally. Such circular deals can create skewed incentives and magnify losses if demand for AI fails to match today's lofty expectations. Bloomberg. A separate, sharper critique came from investor Michael Burry. In November 2025, he argued that AI hyperscalers, he named Alphabet, Amazon, Meta, Microsoft, and Oracle, understate depreciation by stretching the assumed useful life of GPUs to 5-6 years when, in his view, it's closer to 2-3. He estimated roughly $176 billion of understated depreciation across 2026-2028 that he said inflates reported profits. CNBC. Motley fool. That is Burry's thesis. An accusation he is making, not a finding anyone has proven. And it's the same lever I wrote about in part 1. How long you assume a machine lasts quietly moves billions in profit. Now the counter view, because it's at least as important. Reputable commentators draw a hard line between this and illegal round-tripping. Economist Noah Smith put it bluntly. It's perfectly normal and healthy for General Motors to lend its customers the money they use to buy GM cars. This is called vendor finance. It's perfectly legal and commonplace. No opinion. Real investment advice, even while raising the round-tripping question in its headline, stated flatly, we are not accusing NVIDIA, OpenAI, and other large tech companies of fraud. Real investment advice. The companies pushed back directly too. NVIDIA circulated a fact-check memo to shareholders. Jensen Huang called reports of friction with OpenAI nonsense, and I really love working with Sam Fortune. Sam Altman said OpenAI's revenue is growing steeply. We're doing well more revenue than that. And Microsoft's Satya Nadella said OpenAI had beaten every business plan it presented to Microsoft Yahoo Finance. So, real demand or finance demand? The honest answer is that smart, sourced people disagree. And none of the ones cited here are alleging a crime. Opinion: Michael, I'm not telling you this is fraud, because I can't, and the careful people on both sides aren't either. What I see is concentration risk dressed as momentum. When the chip seller is also the investor and also the backstop buyer, demand and supply stop being independent signals, and a number that should be the thermometer starts acting like a mirror. That doesn't make it illegal. Vendor financing is ordinary. It makes it fragile, in exactly the way Odlisco describes. Fine until the morning someone decides growth came in slow, and buries depreciation point rhymes with part 1. The same assumption that flatters this quarter sends the bill to a later one. Bad systems, not bad people, but a system this interlocked has fewer places to hide a wrong guess. You don't have to take my read. The press releases, the 8K, and the analysts on both sides are linked above. Judge the loop yourself. Every number in this video is in the company's own filings. You do not have to take it on faith. Check each source yourself at the Evidence Explorer, linked in the description. This was part 8 of a sourced series. Bad systems, not bad people.